Ian.
How are you?
I'm doing well, buddy. I'm doing well. It is wonderful to see you again, slightly less sunburned than when I last saw you.
Yeah, I am fairly sunburned. My arms are very sunburned.
Yeah. Welcome to Apex Adjacent, everyone. Dave, Ian, blah, blah, blah. Your boy.
Not a skincare podcast.
It can be. It can be. It puts the lotion on the podcast host.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your boy and I, we did some car stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give folks the rundown of what happened, what took place, Ian, while I crack a frosty spindrift here? We're going lemonade or lemon flavor tonight.
Mr. Dave here invited me out to co-drive his wonderful Fiat 500 at Barth at the BMW Club's autocross event this last Saturday. It was like a SCCA style thing. So they ran it one direction in the morning and then they reversed the course and ran it the other direction in the afternoon.
Right.
And it was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. I think that when you dual drive a car, you have a bit of an advantage because, especially on a day like Saturday, because it was completely overcast. It was like 60 degrees in the morning.
Right.
And so there was no heat in the tires, as I learned on my very first run.
Yeah. I was watching you on your first run and like you got 4 or 5 corners into it and just totally sideways.
Yep.
So close to spinning it.
Yeah. I had to apply an entire half wheel turn of lock to get it out. I watched it on the video. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So you want to see me do a little code brown in my little car? Yeah. Right? Yeah. But it was a fantastic day. I think that we had a bit of an advantage in that morning because we were dual driving, so we could put heat in the tires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got a rerun in the morning, I think?
No, I got a rerun in the afternoon.
Okay, yeah.
So that's when I got my rerun.
Yeah.
So I got 7 runs total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Including the rerun, which was sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got 7 runs total. And yeah, you got 6. You didn't get any reruns, right?
I did not get any reruns. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So they do 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon for just this specific event. Other than that, when you go to one of these club events, you're going to get like usually 8 or more runs. Yeah. We've had some where we've done 9. I got like 16 runs at the Test and Tune.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So good bang for your buck. But
yeah. No, it was fun. And the format was cool. Like reversing the track. Like I think in the morning, I was kind of skeptical about that. And then it ended up being that I think the reverse direction was more fun.
It was, I think, for both of us. And I think for a lot of people, yes, people seem to vibe with that one more. But yeah.
Shagging cones, I ended up with a car right next to me.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Somebody, I think it was one of the two of the biggest moments of the day. I wouldn't say that they were the 2 biggest moments of the day, but 2 of the bigger moments of the day happened right in my section.
Okay.
when I was on cone duty. The first one was in the morning where that BMW ended up backwards in the grass, like real far in the grass.
First time I've seen someone go in the grass at these events. Yeah.
I mean, he went a good distance.
Yeah. And everyone was okay. Everyone was okay.
Car was great. Fine. Yep. Car was fine.
Yeah.
Everyone, and he actually missed all the cones. Didn't actually hit.
I love it when that happens. Yeah, we had somebody spin in the stop box one time and not even hit any cones.
That's amazing.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
And then the other one was there was a silver BMW M2 who it was like the back section, which is where I was all like S's and then into a slalom. And it was like deep into the slalom where the accident happened or where his spin happened. But I could tell like 3 S's before he got to the slalom that things were going amiss. Like it was one of the most like telegraphed, like, oh boy, but he just kept his foot in it.
Okay. Okay.
for like 200 yards before he finally spun, and then he took out like 6 cones.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Don't
Until
got it.
finally, I don't got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went past me, and I was like, he don't got it. And then it was like 3 cones later, he really didn't got it.
I think we've all had that feeling driving, like karting driving, where we're like, oh, the math is not adding up on this one. We're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But then also like the other side of it, like completely deluding yourself into, I can fix this.
Yes. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah. You and your driving are in a bad relationship, and you can't fix it.
It'd be like Kevin in The Office dropping the chili and then just insisting it's okay and scooping it back into the pot.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think one thing that was very interesting to me was your approach was different than last time.
Yeah, so you were not in the car with me this time. So this was a big difference. So for whatever reason, they were like, oh well, I think people were taking it was like, I don't know, was there some sort of like competition thing that was different this week than other weeks?
Yes, so they only wanted you to have a very limited exposure to the course, and that exposure was walking the course or actually driving it. They didn't want you to be a passenger and get a feeling for the course and then be able to do your runs. So you couldn't ride with somebody if you were also driving, right? So everybody had the same frame of reference for the course. Normally they don't care, right? Because it's always nice to have somebody ride with you for a lot of folks, including myself. But this one is the most strict like rule event that they do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I really benefited last time from like, because the last time we dual drove, I rode with you and I was like, oh, okay, I see what has to happen here.
Like the violence of the situation.
Yes. And now your car it's a different car. It's a totally different car than the last time I drove it. And I drove it on the road the other day, which we talked about. But that's a different thing than driving it in anger. First of all, different tires set up.
Right.
And also, you're driving it in anger. And my approach, like when I'm at a new kart place or when I'm on when you're on a circuit, on a road course, you could take like a few laps to kind of like acclimate, figure it out, but in autocross, you just got to go.
Right.
Which is less than ideal.
You needed to transition from like how you do when, like, say you're renting a seat in a champ car or something like that, and you're showing up for the first time, to how you drive on the racing sim in a completely new situation.
Right. I need halfway in between those two.
Yeah, because I don't know. I want to know what it was like on the receiving end of this, but I felt like I had to give you a little pep talk to let you know that I was okay with you just fucking sending it.
Yes. Well, and that was the other thing, is that when you were in the car with me, then I rode with you, and then I got kind of my eye in from the passenger seat. But then you were also in the car with me, telling me to just send it.
Yeah.
And that's not my default. That's not really my default setting, is send it right away.
True, in someone else's car, right? Yeah.
Yeah, someone else's car. I'm still learning the course. I'm still learning the car. Right. So it took me a little while. And then I think after my second run, I was 4-ish seconds off of your pace, I think.
Yep.
And then you were like, just send it. Yeah. And then my third run, I think I ended up in the morning, a second and a half off of you?
Like a second and a half. Yeah.
Something like that, which I was totally fine with.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember telling you, like, drive this car like I built it for what it was built.
Right.
Yeah. Right? Like, yeah. I need you to Ian this,
Right. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And I still I left a lot on the table,
Sure.
especially in the slalom, I think. And yeah, kind of the higher speed sections, I was still let's dial it back just a skosh.
There was a section in the morning. Well, actually, it more so in the afternoon where I was hitting the rev limiter in second gear, which is like 54 miles an hour, 55
Yeah,
miles an
it
hour.
was a fast course this time.
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
was. But it was very interesting because I'm just so used to seeing you just I don't know, you just have such a satisfying click into whatever the go-kart facility is throwing at you.
Right.
And for half a lap and you have it figured out and you're fucking sending it. Right? And
Yeah.
it was just interesting to see you in a little bit different environment with a slower ramp up, but obviously you still got it, you
I
know?
think I just need permission. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's okay. There's a lot of factors at play, right? And
Yeah.
and you're exactly right. Last season, and I didn't think of this, that you rode with me before you drove last season. That's a huge reason why
Hmm.
that yeah, that happened, you know? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
able to, see how much, what it feels like when you throw the car in. And then that feeling is totally, that sensation is totally different
Right.
this year because the suspension is completely changed. So you
Yeah.
don't have that same feeling of leaning and trusting it that it's going to grip, that sort of stuff. So
Right. Right.
I don't know. It was just different.
Yeah, and I think that you had a really good point. I think you uncovered something about my car where I don't think that it is the most communicative vehicle from 1 to 8.5 tenths,
Yeah.
right? That when you really do have to kind of get it to 9 and on the limit before you really before the E and nerve endings can pick up what they're there for, right?
Yeah. It's this weird thing where I normally don't like when a car moves around a lot
Mhm.
under me. I like a pretty nailed down sort of driving experience. But for whatever reason, your car, I cannot figure out what's happening with it until it starts moving around. And then I'm like, oh, okay, this
Right.
makes sense to me.
That's
So
when you're finally getting data.
yeah, when I start getting it moving and getting it to rotate a little bit and even getting it into understeer, it just helps to yeah. I feel like I'm way faster when it starts moving around under me.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, it took a while for me to get there. I think maybe my last run on the morning and then, you know, my last run maybe on in the afternoon. I was kind of there for most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your time showed. So I pulled a 44.6 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
You were there with a 45 and something.
Yeah, 45.3 I think was my best time.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, and you beat your nemesis.
Oh, I do have a fun picture to show you. So the 360 camera, I messed up the 360 camera, so we didn't get any video from the afternoon runs.
Oh
So
no. Okay.
I know, right? But it was on intermittent photo mode or interval photo mode, so it was taking pictures every 3 seconds of the
Oh my
whole
god.
afternoon. But I did get a good picture. I got to give a shout out to Joel because it's so great racing with him because I think that we just have a very fun rivalry. And so here is when
Generated by your mother, which is the best.
yes. Here is when I came in. Joel had done his last run, and I beat him by 0.2 seconds, or actually less than 0.2 seconds. And so, if you can't tell, he's giving me the double birds, which is the exact correct response.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so thankfully
Oh
the
my
3 seconds on the interval photos just lined up right then because I'm driving. I'm moving at 7 miles an hour here. Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to get this on a t-shirt for next season. Oh my god, that's
It's
really
so great.
funny.
So I mean I do have to thank Joel because I think that it is a very wonderful, friendly competition. I'm very glad to get to know him over the course of this autocross season because he's a really nice guy. and he's really fast in his GTI. And when you have somebody like this, you make each other faster. That's what you do, right? And so it's great to get to know him and talk to him. So thank you, Joel. And that that was absolute highlight. Yeah, for sure. So
really funny.
Yeah. Now, Ian, I've been thinking about this. Okay, we're hiding the browser because it's just you and me, buddy. Okay. I've been thinking about this since yesterday, like, I don't know, evening. And I was debating whether or not to tell you this or not. Okay.
Oh no.
All
so
right.
Dave texted me earlier and said that he had bad news about autocross yesterday.
Specifically your afternoon runs.
Specifically my afternoon runs. And I have a feeling I know what the problem is, but I don't want to admit it to myself, so I'm just gonna have you tell me.
I wasn't gonna be one of those people that's like, I have bad news, and then not give you a frame of reference. Like, this could be anything from Dave has cancer to like, oh, they're out of his favorite hot sauce at the grocery store, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to frame it a little bit. You told me to save it for the show, so here we are. I did not. I was debating whether or not to tell you this, but unfortunately, all 3 of your runs in the afternoon were DNFs.
All 3 of them?
All 3 of them. So
did I make the same mistake every time?
You did.
Why didn't anybody tell me?
See, that this is the thing, and this is something that I want to change for next season for myself. So you remember when I DNF'd my very first run when I blew past that cone on the back that was you were supposed to tuck inside? You did what I did the opposite direction all 3 runs. You didn't tuck inside that cone.
I don't even know which one. So I mean, like on the
north side of the parking lot.
Oh.
There was that pointer cone pushing you back in, and I do know this because I do have the Track Addict cam and the reverse camera. And so I saw on the because the BMW Club does live timing, and you can go on a website and get your times like really fast, right? But so I pulled it up last night to start putting it in Excel, and I saw you were at the top with your times and then DNF for each of them. And I was like, what the fuck? And because like my first run of the day, I DNF'd because I missed that cone, and it has the time, and it's like, okay, so they have your time, then they say DNF, right? And I was like, what is going on here? Like, so I went, like, I was like in investigative reports, man. Like, it was like mission mode at that point. I had to find out why my boy DNF'd, and it was that same cone every time.
I apparently just didn't see it.
I think what we were talking about earlier is that difference in look ahead vision versus karting and track driving is that you were looking too far ahead.
Yeah, I wonder if I was just really fixed because the end of that little straight there, there was a really tight left-hander. Yeah. And I think I was probably just really focused on setting up for that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I even, oh my God, I even told my like cone worker people was like, man, I think I really got my line through there really good. Because I was just using the whole airport.
Like you go through the slalom just on one side of the cones.
Man, this is easy.
Fastest time through the slalom, jerks. What do you got?
Well,
yeah. So I didn't. Is that something that you would have wanted me to tell you, or should I?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spring. I debated. I was like, maybe I'll just let him have his joy.
I told you yesterday, I respond well to negative reinforcement.
Okay. So this is why I was wondering if you wanted to come to the Porsche autocross at the end of September, maybe as a redemption arc.
Well, so
we can ride together.
This is, I think, my thing with the autocross is like, why wouldn't anybody tell me?
See,
why wouldn't anyone let you know?
That's the thing. That
like if I shortcut high planes,
right,
I'm gonna know because I'm gonna have grass in my car.
Right. And also like if you behave inappropriately on the track and
You
any
get a
kind
black
of
flag.
right. And
Yeah.
also like if you're missing a gate, you are kind of like like decreasing the safety of the course because
For
you're
sure.
moving in a way outside of where people are guessing you would or predicting you would.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are 100% correct. For somebody that DNFs, they do need to be told that they DNF and why. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously, I didn't notice, and
Right.
I just kept making the same mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. And so I for next season, I'm going like the reason that I don't look at the live timing after every run is because my phone's running Track Addict. I don't want to like
Right.
worry about the GPS resyncing and all that stuff. So I'm gonna run like whatever software from a dedicated device next time. Right. And then we'll be able to look up times like right after a run. So
Yeah.
yeah, and so we'll see if it DNFs or not, and then we'll be able to watch it after the run as well. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah, it does not make sense that like somebody could DNF like the second time. You'd think like somebody would be like, "Hey, just so you know, right?"
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like that's something that should just definitely be better managed. But other than that, I'm thankful for how they run the event. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they should.
Well, oopsies.
Yeah.
Oopsie poopsies.
You know what? It would be a good thing is showing a DNF thing on the time because there's a time that you
Yeah,
see
right.
on the display board. If there was like a DNF light or
Or
something.
the loudspeakers they have.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yep. So yeah. Yeah. Because if I would have heard it, then I would have told you and we would have looked at footage,
Mhm.
and we would have found it. You would have fixed it and you would have, continued
Yeah.
doing great. Yeah.
Or just a volunteer posted up at the grid.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Right?
Mm.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm
Well,
sorry. I'm sorry.
that sucks. Well, that probably means I went slower.
I have to say, I am proud of you because you did send it. You did like without me being in the car, without getting that permission other than like me verbally telling you, which is very
Right.
different than like riding or having me in the car with you.
Right.
Like you did send it and
It was fun. Yeah.
you did the Abarth proud.
Thank you.
You
Thank
know?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were gotten very fast.
Well, thank you. I'm getting faster. Yeah.
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 I had one
It
run.
shows.
My like my my last run, it was that I have not had this feeling before at autocross where like I had that like I don't know if this is going to pan out. I don't know if this is going to like over like a third of the course, and somehow I just like I didn't let it shake me. I was able to stay in it and it got me a good time. So, yeah, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. The car moved more than I expected it to. And like,
Right.
so it was that like when you start skiing or snowboarding and like you start getting used to speed, like, and then you go a little faster than you've ever
You
been
scare
before.
yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I did that. I definitely scared myself a little bit on that last run. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know if Joel wants to count that as a win because I'm the one that peed myself a little bit. He didn't.
Yeah.
So, he wins dry shorts at least. So
Right.
yeah.
Dry shorts.
But I have to tell you, I know that like I know you are very busy. You have a lot of family activities. I love how much how much you and Jenny focus on making such wonderful times for the kids and all the activities and stuff like that. And so I appreciate you carving out time on a weekend day
Yeah.
to come autocrossing with me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's great.
So yes, it
Yeah,
means
thanks
it
for having
means a
me.
lot. It really means a lot, and I really appreciate you. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you letting me drive your car.
That's the whole thing with this nugget, right? Like it's not precious from like I don't want a door ding or like
Right.
that kind of thing, but it like it's very utilitarian. Like it is
Mhm.
for this.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing, right? We're doing, yeah. And the gauges and all that stuff are nice peace of mind. And I feel a lot better about like, my thumb being on the pulse of the car as far as like if something's getting to a danger zone or something. So yeah.
Yeah. I think all your reliability mods have really the thing did great. Like even in the afternoon when it got hot out, the temperatures really didn't get crazy. You know, it was predictable, like power delivery the whole time, you know, that sort of thing. Like, it was great.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cool enough that the diverter valve wasn't doing that weird sticking thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. Yeah. And I kind of like, I upgraded the Fiat like the opposite way that I upgraded Dusty Rusty. Like it was all like safety and reliability first and like almost no power mods whatsoever.
That's very true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Good point.
So there you go. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so we had a wonderful time at autocross. PETA was there. He brought the first time autocrosser Alex with him. And it was so great to see PETA bring somebody and like and be there with PETA and you and Joel and Alex and everybody. It was an awesome day. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Ian, that was Breaking Bad news. Like, do you want to give me your garage update? I want to hear your garage update.
Let's do the garage update.
Okay. All right.
So two things. So first of all, the all track, I took it in for its 40,000 mile service, which is the big one.
Yeah.
It's got like the transmission change, the DSG fluid, the Haldex, all the fluids flushed and things and blah blah blahs. And that went, fairly smoothly. It was an expensive one.
Okay.
But I did have an issue, which I've told you about already.
Yes.
I tweeted about it already, which was that I had to fix something on the all track. None of the 12 volt outlets were working. I'm assuming somebody spilled a juice box in one of them or something.
What?
Yeah, I'm assuming something happened where it got short circuited by a Lego or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But yeah, so that the fuse for all of the 12 volt outlets was blown, and it was a 20 amp fuse, and I didn't have a 20 amp fuse anywhere. I couldn't find one. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I have another Volkswagen, and I looked at that fuse panel, and the horn is a 20 amp fuse. So I took it out of my R32 horn slot and put it in the all track, and then promptly forgot, verified that it worked, and it did, and then promptly forgot about it. And then I was driving to autocross the other day, and somebody was in the left lane when they should not have been. And I went around them, and I went to beep at them angrily, and nothing. And then I just started cracking up. I was like, oh yeah.
That took you out of it right there, right?
And you brought up a very good point, which is that officially, technically now, my R32 is a parts car.
Yep, your R32 is a parts car for your Ultra. It has reached parts car status. I love this on so many levels for you. Oh my God. Okay, all right. First of all, why the fuck does a horn take 20 amps?
I don't know.
Jesus. What are we sending through that? Yeah, I've heard your horn. It doesn't sound like 20 amps of horn.
No, it's not a train horn. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like that speaker box weapon in Mario Kart. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Also, I love that that you just did a horn delete on your car. Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. Yeah. So
and I think two Volkswagens sharing fuses is essentially consummating a relationship. Like, I think they're in many countries now legally married.
Yes, that was the Avatar tail entangling. Yeah, between those two. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they touch tips, buddy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuse tips.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sparks were flying.
Yeah, yeah. From the apple juice that was shoved into, the 12-volt outlet. How many 12-volt outlets do you have in that thing?
3.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So there's one like in the under the dash. There's one in the center console and one in the hatch area.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then, but they're all in the same circuit.
Sure. Which makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Man. Oh.
So, I need to buy a 20 amp fuse, and then, you know what? I'm going to forget about it again
until the next time you're angry at somebody in traffic, right? And then you just need to like circle the block of an AutoZone until somebody upsets you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I do have another good road rage story actually that reminds me.
Sure. Yeah.
Already. I was in Denver, over by REI, with the big REI store in Denver. And there's this section of there's this intersection there that is just a clusterfuck at all times of the day. 15th Avenue, 15th Street, and Platt.
Platt, yeah.
And it's always just, a huge clusterfuck.
It was one of those intersections that was fine when we were just a small little mountain town and there were 12 people around.
Right. But, even when I first moved here, it was fine. Right. And already now it's like, even in that short period of time, 10 years, it's like that. Right. Anyway, so I was on Platt and I was going over, and there's this like weird, like, it kind of looks like there's a turn lane there, but it's a parking lane. And so you can't, it's just one lane through there for left, straight, right turns. Everyone's just in one lane. And this guy behind me, it's, bumper to bumper, waiting to get to the intersection. And someone left a parking spot over on the right-hand side, over on the curb.
Okay.
But there was other cars parked there. And so the guy thought, I don't know, like he like zoomed in there, and I just assumed, okay, he's going to park.
Right. Okay.
Right. And so then he realizes his mistake. So the light goes green. He then realizes like, oh, I've zoomed past these other people which I had my turn signal on that I was going to be turning right. So I don't know what he thought he was doing. So he zoomed around me thinking he was going to get to the turn lane before me. And then I just like went straight, and he was apocalyptically angry. He was so pissed because I just didn't let him back in. Right. Because I was like, oh, I thought he was parking. Yeah. And then when I saw the look of rage on his face, then I was like, well, I'm really not going to let you in now because now it's funny. And so I drove just like I normally would. And he like did everything he could to like flip me off and, beep at me and yell at me for like the whole way home. Oh, he followed me on Spear the whole way or whatever. And I was just like, whenever he would look over and I would catch his eye, I would go like this.
Make a heart with your hands.
Yeah. Give him the Justin Bieber, like one of those. The classic blow a kiss. Blow him a kiss. And at one point, he considered getting out of his car. We were at a long light, and he was behind me, and I could see him in the mirror just stewing back there, just so angry. And like, again, I just drove normally. That's all I did.
Right. You just followed the law. Yeah.
Yeah. And because again, I thought he was parking.
Right. Exactly.
And so I just like drove normally. He considered taking off his seatbelt. And I realized in that moment that there's a non-zero chance that my last words will be, God, you're cute when you're angry. Because that was what I planned on saying to
him. Oh my God. Oh, I love it when someone is like, what are all these cars doing? Why are they like, there can't be a reason why all these people are waiting in a long line. right? Like,
Right.
and then they try to get around it, and then they realize, oh, there's a reason that all those people were waiting in a long line.
Yeah.
Right.
And I am all for tilting at windmills and trying to pass a huge line of cars.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, you are. Yes.
you should have seen
Yeah.
the line of cars I passed on 285 the other weekend when we were coming home from camping. It was like 2 miles long, and I got through it just
okay.
one tiny little passing zone at a time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Just one RV at the front of it.
Right.
You know?
Right. But you didn't drive over across the yellow line being like, there's no cars over here. Why isn't
Right.
anybody
Why don't you go? I mean, that's basically what I did in autocross, so maybe I should have. Why isn't anyone using this part of it?
I do want to give a word of advice to anyone that finds themselves in a situation similar to yours that is scared about the situation, right? So let's say it was worse than what was happening to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
My advice is to just drive to your nearest police station. Just drive directly into the parking lot of your nearest police station.
Or at the very least, just don't give anything back.
Yeah.
Don't give
anything back. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is the move. Drive to the police station parking lot.
Yeah.
No.
Calmly.
Yep. Exactly.
Normally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But God, you're cute when you're angry.
Or antagonized, like I do.
Here on the Apex Adjacent podcast, we do not. We have a firm do as we say, not as we do rule.
Oh, I also did actually because it was hot, so I had the windows up, and I was like, I went like I mimicked like I love you to him.
Uh-huh.
And you could just see smoke. It was very funny.
Oh my God. Oh, Ian. The situations you find yourself in with your car, it's delightful. It's delightful. Yeah, anything from somebody trying to free an imaginary hallucinatory dog on the inside of your car, to people that want to legitimately murder you. Yeah, yeah.
Make it friends. It's just what I do.
The Ian way. Uh-huh. Wow. Well, yeah, Ian. That is quite the garage update. Yeah. Yeah.
I really do think it would be funny if someone's last words were, "Gosh, you're cute when you're angry." Like that just made me laugh so much.
I could just see you delivering that like so calmly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You wouldn't like blow it and make yourself laugh. You'd be able to get it out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ian. Well, I'm thankful for the precious short amount of time I have with you.
You're right. Before I'm murdered in a horrendous road rage incident.
I am, Ian. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, my garage update pales in comparison because the Fiat is not a parts car for Luther. And and I mean, all I did was just like, I've been trying to fix the hatch because the hatch keeps acting up, the hatch latch.
Hatch latch.
Hatch latch. It's just fun to say. And so
maybe instead of just buying one replacement, you should get several of them. So you should get a batch of hatch latches.
You know what? That's a great idea. Yeah. Do you know that if they come like matched to the batch?
Yeah, you want a
hatch
match
latches?
You want a match batch. Hatch latch.
Your hatch latches? Okay. Natch. Yeah, that's you doing what's the guy's name that does all those? The wait,
Dr.
don't
Seuss.
No, the wait, don't tell me guy.
Peter Sagal.
Peter Sagal. Yeah. That's you sagling it. Yeah. Yeah. But I pulled the hatch latch today and did some troubleshooting on it, and I found out that that I think this little motor is overheating. Yeah. And so like I've completely replaced the hatch wiring. I did see, look at all that.
Oh, so you think you don't need to replace it? You can just repair it. Maybe you can just patch the hatch latch.
I might be able to patch. Well, I did patch the hatch latch. I can't make wiring rhyme with hatch latch, but I did patch the hatch latch wiring. So this is a repair harness you can get on eBay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so I found a few kind of crunchy wires in here, and so I wired that in. Yeah, and it comes with a handy, color coding,
Nice.
yeah, and so I did that,
connectors.
but yeah, so the hatch is mostly working now. I did find some corrosion. I found out where water's getting in whenever it gets wet. Yeah, so I used some of that what is it? BD 1000 electrical cleaner. Have you seen that? I highly recommend that stuff. It's really good. Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, so my hatch latch is kind of patched now. So, yeah.
Patch that hatch latch.
Patch your hatch latch. Natch. Yeah. When you have the wiring, maybe make a thatch. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you find any? Did it catch?
The hatch latch. I can't do this anymore. Is there a synonym for uncle that rhymes with hatch? Yeah. So I think it's mostly like, this is the thing about the Fiat. This is going to be the way that it breaks, right? It's all of these kinds of things that are going to break.
Death of 1,000 cuts sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, that's my garage update.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing nearly as dramatic as yours. Yeah.
Well, mine wasn't really part of the garage update. That was just me in the world.
Yeah. Ian existing in space. Okay. All right. Yeah.
What do you want to do? Do you want to do some My Eyes and then play some games?
Yeah, I do have some My Eyes, but I forgot to put them in the folder, so we can skip My Eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do.
Let's play some games.
Okay. You want to do license plate or FMK cars first?
You pick.
Okay. We'll do FMK cars because it's Fiat 500 Abarth themed.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Great. All right. There are some weird people out there in the world, Ian. We know this, right? And they modify Fiat 500 Abarths within an inch of their life. And so I want to give you FMK between 3 different very odd Fiat 500 Abarths.
Oh, so these are real ones that people have actually modified and they exist out in the world.
Yes, I think these are like tuning houses and, people I've never heard of. Yeah.
Okay. Well, FMK cars, for anyone who doesn't know, is a game we sometimes play on the show. Based on the classic game Fuck, Marry, Kill, but we play it with cars instead of people because we're not gross. What F is you drive it for a day. M is you marry it, it's your new daily driver, and K means you kill it. It goes to the crusher. Spelled with a K.
Yes. Crusher.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So I got to show you these. I can't even explain them. Okay. So first up, we have the Gianni 350P. GIANNINI Fiat 350 GP. All right. Okay. So this is a very wild Fiat 500 Abarth.
Oh,
it is
rear wheel drive.
So you can get it 2 ways. This is Burger King, and any way you want it. Okay, 350 horsepower. You can get it in mid-engine rear wheel drive.
Yes, please.
Okay. Or front wheel drive 4-wheel drive. Or
front engine
4-wheel drive.
Okay.
And this is a engine swap with an Alpha 4C engine.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay, so which one am I getting?
What would you rather have?
Let's go crazy. Let's go rear drive.
Okay. Mid-engine rear drive. Okay. And how would you say that? Giannini?
Giannini?
Yeah,
Giannini? I don't know.
Yeah, welcome to Pronunciation Pod.
Giannini,
350 GP. Yeah. Okay. All right, next. And the delightful thing about these is that there's not a lot of information about these on the internet because it's probably more theory than it is, car.
I will say I really like those 20 the the charcoal one with the 20 spoke wheels.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That works for me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Look, they have a 4x4 emblem on the side of it. Okay.
That's rad as hell. Yeah.
Wild. Okay. All right. So then next, Ian, as my voice cracks, is the Pogea, Pogea Racing Fiat 500 Abarth. Okay. This is 405 horsepower. Okay. In a carbon wide body.
Okay.
Okay. So I think this is
front wheel drive?
Front wheel drive. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 328 pound-feet of torque.
And just for scale.
Uh-huh.
How much power does your car make now?
My car makes about 160 horsepower. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this thing, I mean, it's going to grenade as soon as you hit the accelerator.
I was going to say, for how long does this make 400 horsepower?
Right. Yeah, I think it's forged pistons, bigger turbo, new camshaft, valve springs, blah 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 blah. Yeah, all the stuff that you would assume would go with it. But I think it might still be the 1.4 liter. Yeah,
wow.
Which is insane. Yeah,
that is crazy.
Right. So yeah. All right.
Sure.
Okay. Now, lastly, there is not a lot of information about this, but we're gonna see what we can find. Georg George Packer. Here it is. Pacher, Pacher, Fiat 500. This is the
Georg Packer.
Yeah, Georg Packer. It has a V8 made out of Hayabusa engines. Okay, is a hill climb Fiat.
I think I've seen a video of this.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is it looks like you clipped a Fiat, like it's clipping into the ground, like in a bad video game.
Yeah.
It's a very weird looking car, but there you go, Ian. These are your 3 bananas Abarths. Now the what you need to do, this is going to be what you and I dual drive at autocross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is actually pretty easy.
Okay.
For a day, I mean, I got to try this thing, right?
Right.
The Georg Packer, Hayabusa, Frankenstein nonsense, whatever this is.
Right.
I want to try that once.
Yes.
I mean, it looks terrifying. All of these look terrifying.
Yes, they do.
It's just like, what flavor of terrifying?
Right? Yeah.
Is this?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this looks a little terrifying, but fun terrifying. The Pogea Racing.
Yeah. Pogea. Yeah.
Pogea. I don't think what your car needs is like triple the horsepower that it has now.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
Especially if it's still front wheel drive, like that seems unmanageable at that point. Yeah. So I would say I'm going to crush this.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I'm going to marry the Giannini.
Yeah.
We'll say the 4-wheel drive one, because this is the 4x4 with the 20 spokes that I like.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I marry.
Okay. With the Alpha 4C engine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that looks like that. I mean, that's like you mashed your R32 and my Abarth into one another, and then just like
then they gave it more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then it all somehow breeded with NOS. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would be your answer?
I think I would go the same. I mean, that weird Georg Pacher, clip thing is so weird and has to be so odd. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then like the 405 horsepower one, like that's just insane. Like there's no way that I cannot. I don't know. We were talking at autocross about like how when a car like handles horribly, like at least it should have an absurd amount of power.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like just like the Cadillac Escalade V. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But like this already handles well. Like I don't want a knee buckling amount of power with it, like it's already fun
Yeah.
in one way. Don't try to make it fun in a way that like doesn't work with it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I would definitely marry, yeah.
Could you imagine how quickly you would spin a rear-wheel drive version of your car? Like,
oh, instantly. I
it
would
would be.
never make it out of the starting line. Yeah. It'd just be Donut City.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would just spit you off immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Such a short wheelbase. It would just like snap so quick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. So anyway.
Man.
Yeah. I think you chose well, Ian. Yeah,
Thank you.
I do like that like for the Poggia one, they kept it looking very cute.
Mm-hmm.
And the
I do appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah, right. Because adorableness with this car, I think, is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So
This
yeah.
one looks less cute for sure. The
Yeah.
Giannini.
Yeah. Right. With like the heritage rally lights on the front, like it
Yeah.
almost looks like a little kind of like it has a little mustache, like a little old timey Western villain that's going to tie a damsel to train tracks.
It always looks like they just crossed it with a Alpine A110.
There you go. Yep.
That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah.
You're exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
Looks great though. Cool.
Yeah. Wild. Okay. So
That's
there
a
you
nice
go.
one. I like that.
Okay. Okay.
Shall we do a license plate game?
We absolutely should. Yeah, because I have a feeling you've been getting some banana plates because it seems like wild plates are just on the uptick. People are sending us some wild stuff, so thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one is called, and I've, if anyone, longtime listeners will remember that I used to have some crazy titles for my FMK cars games. That has started to infect the license plate game titles as well, because this one is called "Attention in the Cabin. Is there a medical professional on board? Your license plate is dumb."
When I saw the file name come into Google Drive, I saw that Google or that whatever put an ellipses in the file name, and I was like, oh God, he's doing it again.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. Your license plate is dumb. Attention in the cabin. So it's something with airfare. Yeah. Is there a medical professional on board? Your license plate is dumb. .png. Okay. Well done, Ian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are all medical professionals. So the joke was like, attention in the cabin, is that we have a medical emergency. Is there a doctor on board? But instead, they're just letting people know their license plates are dumb.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay. So up top, we have a Ford Edge. You're a doctor and you're driving a Ford Edge. Do better.
It's an Edge ST.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's right.
That
I forgot that they made one of those.
Existed?
Yeah, something. Yeah, and it's that's a good blue color, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then a black Mazda CX-30. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Porsche Cayenne GT3?
GTS, yeah.
GTS. Okay, Porsche Cayenne GTS. Okay, and
otherwise known as the one you want.
Okay, all right. Have you ever driven a Cayenne?
I have not. I've never driven a Cayenne.
Okay, yeah, me neither. I've never driven anything Porsche, but yeah.
I've been in a Cayenne. That's it.
Okay, gotcha. So then the plates. Oh boy. Okay, so Docta, DOCTAHH.
Mm-hmm.
Then RN for moms. So it's either run for moms or you're a nurse for moms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then toe tagger, TOETAGR for the mortician. Yeah. Okay, toe tagger. Okay. Huh. Okay. All right.
What are we thinking? What's your you want to do some zoomies and
before
enhances?
Zoomies and enhances, I'm going toe tagger on the black CX-30 just because that seems macabre.
Okay.
And then I'm going RN for moms on the Ford Edge ST, and then Dacia on the Porsche Cayenne. So that's before Zoomies and enhances.
That's your initial assessment.
Yeah,
okay.
gut plate to stereotyping kind of thing. Okay.
Okay.
So we're zooming in on the Ford Edge ST. It's got a donate for life sticker, good for you, a Colorado dog sticker, and a very flowery license plate frame, which I'm perfectly fine with. And a sticker. Do you know what that sticker says?
I don't know what that sticker says.
Okay. Yeah. It is medically themed. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And then we're going down to the CX-30. Yeah, just the dealer license plate frame. Just very goth. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to the GTS. Cayenne. You had to zoom in pretty far for this one because it's pretty pixelated, and that's okay. Because it's more important that you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to stand by my decision, Ian.
Okay.
I think I am.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
I have bad news.
Really?
You got every single one of them wrong.
I did? No.
Did.
What?
You did. Yep.
Oh, Docta on the CX-30. Toe tagger on the very upbeat Edge.
Donate for life.
Donate for life.
Donate to donate your organs.
True.
And this is the person who's going to be harvesting them.
And then RN for moms on the okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, PETA got the top two. He sent both of those in.
Docta and Toe Tagger. Okay.
Yeah. And then I got RN for moms the other day. So
those are all amazing spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Docta on the CX-30 makes me think that this is not maybe a medical professional, because this says less I'm making doctor money and more I've paid an exorbitant amount of money for a PhD.
Yes. Yeah. I think you're right. I think that it is offset with student loans that they struggle to pay, because if their PhD was in, liberal arts or something. Yeah. Right.
It's a fine automobile.
Sure.
But it's not the thing you think of as when you become a doctor.
Right. It is not what urologists aspire to drive. Right. Yeah.
Which is something that lets them think about something other than a urethra.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
On that note, speaking of urethras,
thank you for the license plate game.
We've passed yet another episode.
We do. And I gave you bad news. That was the kidney stone. Yeah. It was
many. Yeah.
Yeah. A little
These
prickly
episodes
coming out.
Flow through your phone like so many kidney stones. Equally as painful. If people enjoyed this experience, which I've just likened to passing a kidney stone, what should they do?
If you like this, tell a friend. Yeah. Send us vanity plates, some bonkers vanity plates, 720-515-1391.
Yes.
Yeah, do that. Subscribe on YouTube. There you go. Yeah. I do want to give a shout out. We do need an album of the week from you before we close. And I do want to shout out another podcast that I've been listening to since episode 1. I wanted to go on record that I was in on these delightful individuals since day 1. It is Fun Girly Car Time, and it is with our buddy Chris that's been on the show from Gears and Queers, and another Chris from, I can't remember the outlet that he is with. It is Chris and Chris, and the podcast is called Fun Girly Car Time. If you want to hear two delightful car gays talk about cars and a whole bunch of other stuff, definitely listen to Fun Girly Car Time. It is definitely a highlight. I love listening to it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So listen.
I didn't know about that. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah. They shouted out like 7 people have downloaded this for like their first episode. I'm one of the 7. I've been in since episode 1. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so my album of the week is an album called Zango,
Oh,
Zango, by a band called Witch.
Witch. Okay. All
So
right.
Witch is a band from Zambia that were like from the 70s. And they're kind of like back catalog, kind of like got kind of rediscovered in recent years. And so they recorded a brand new album.
Oh, okay.
So this just came out like, a couple weeks ago or something.
First album in nearly 40 years.
Yeah. And it sounds great. I mean, it sounds a little bit like there's definitely some 70s like Black Sabbathy sort of, and like prog rock sort of like production sorts of feels to it, but it's still like it's really cool. Like it's not just straight ahead psych rock or whatever. It's obviously like got a lot of like Afrobeat kind of mixed in there and a bunch of other things in the stew. So kind of like the pick last week, there's just a lot going on.
Okay.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. Nice. Links to Zango by Witch will be in the YouTube description, Apple Music, Bandcamp if they have it, and yeah, Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Okay. Right on.
Check this one out. It's really, really cool.
I like that you like on the Pitchfork review here, like in the first sentence, like it says genre spanning, and it's like, yeah, then Ian's going to be into this.
Yeah. Right. So there's been I always think about this. I can't remember if this was like a tweet or if it was an Onion article from a very long time ago or something. But basically, like in my head, I think it was a tweet that somebody said, but basically like that you always add two to whatever Pitchfork review you're reading.
Okay.
And if it's above, so then if it's above 9, it goes back down to 1. So
yeah.
It's a loop, right?
Yeah.
And that's the actual ranking. And it honestly, it works a lot of the time.
Okay.
Because this is ranked a 7.7, and that would make it a 9.7. So I mean, yeah, that kind of works.
Right. But what they call a 10, right?
Right. Yeah,
Gotcha. Nice. Okay.
Anyway, everybody, thank you very much. Tell a friend. We love you. Goodbye.